Welcome to Tallinn, the capital city of Estonia. This city boasts stunning medieval architecture, with one of the best preserved old towns in Europe.
Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Me and Joel decided to take a quick trip to Europe while Chris and Cricket are putting Adam's car back together, and we decided to get this beautiful RV to go across Europe. Just kidding, just kidding. We actually flew in. We're in Estonia right now, and we decided what better way to do it by visiting some of our vendors. So we're at Wisefab today. We're gonna see what they're about, show some of the products, and take a little quick tour in their shop. Look, I'm in hoodie, you in shorts. I feel great.
Me too.
I feel great.
It's normal Estonian summer, you know.
So this is Tarmo.
Hey.
Tarmo, who are you? What do you do?
I'm a CMO of Wisefab,
Okay.
which means Chief Marketing Officer. I
All
believe
right.
so.
All
So
right.
basically,
So you're the boss.
care of. Yeah, I'm taking care of marketing, sales in general, all that kind of stuff.
Awesome. Thanks for having us. Let's go inside. Check it out.
It's a humble building, nothing too special. But... So come on in, guys.
Yeah. Show us the goods.
So welcome to our tiny office. It's nothing too special. It's not a showroom, to be honest, because we don't have too many walk-in customers, just some maybe per week, because we're shipping things globally and we have another office in California, as you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it goes. But yeah, a couple of things that we did for different trade shows over the years.
This is cool.
Yeah, it's...
Is this for prototyping, or it's actually like
it's pretty cool one. We made it for a German, I believe it was German trade show. So it turns the wheels and does the stuff, so it's easy to explain
That's awesome.
what kind of work we do. Because yeah, sometimes people will ask about those things and they kind of don't understand how it works.
Yeah.
So this one that's a pretty good example.
How old is Wisefab?
Wisefab was established officially back in 2011 by Risto Kõiv and Ardo Kalda. Risto Kõiv is still in charge. He's also on vacation at the moment, but he's the CEO of the company at the moment. And yeah, Ardo Kalda as well. Ardo was responsible for marketing and stuff back in the day, but he kind of got tired and had some other opportunities in his life, so he decided to leave like approximately 6 years ago or something.
Oh, okay. We saw when Nick Nack came over and did the little tour with him and stuff.
Exactly. So yeah, since then I have been responsible for the sales and marketing, so that's my job. But yeah, obviously, as all that kind of companies, we started from the tiny garage. Back then, that's our third location, and we have been here for 7 years, 7.5, I believe,
And
something like that.
Why did he open Wisefab?
Basically, there was a need. There was no such, let's say, a decent product in Europe for BMWs, and as Ardo back then was also judging drift events. I was driving back then, even if I was not involved with Wisefab. Then we were working closely together, and he decided to throw in Risto, who is the suspension engineer. He used to work for all kind of racing companies in US for many years. So he came back to Europe, back to Estonia, and yeah, basically Ardo made an offer to Risto that maybe we should do something together. Risto helped out with the initial design for E30, I believe, which had like more than 65 degrees of angle. It was like a full product, you know, everything what you have to put together, so you didn't have to. At that time, it was kind of common that everybody were cutting and welding the knuckles, doing their own control arms and other stuff like that. So it was like a bolt-on product. And yeah, at first we were using these things in Baltics, Finland, and then Frederick Asbo, back in the day, he noticed this product on some kind of social media or whatever platform. So he gave a call immediately to Ardo. They went over to Norway, things kind of escalated, and already 2013 we won the first championship in FD with Michael Essa. So it was just a couple of years to make it happen in US.
So you could say that you guys are definitely the biggest European company and the oldest one to make full angle kits.
Yeah, sure. I would say, I don't want to say that we are the first one in the world, but basically the same thing escalated in different areas more or less at the same time. Like SLR was doing basically the same thing in US at the same time. So these things were kind of escalating at the same time. But yeah, we were one of the first ones, and yeah, since then things have escalated. Years later, we came out with Nissan S-chassis kits. Obviously, those have been the biggest sales, to be honest, because those are the most popular chassis all over the world. So that's basically the background, starting from the tiny garage, moving to bigger facility, now having this one. Yeah, it's totally the same. I mean, you have to start from the scratch. And the thing is that it's a private-owned company, so we don't have any special investors or anything in, so it's like a natural growth what we have had over the last
the best way to be.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it is. And yeah, these things what you see here, you know this kit very well. You have been
Yeah.
on this kit for many years, I believe,
Yeah.
so on different chassis
love
and
it.
stuff. So yeah, these are the.
We
these
need
are our
one of
babies.
these.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I
Right.
mean, this is like
Take
a
to
really,
trade
really,
shows.
yeah, really nice one. This is something else I will show you shortly. This is Mitsubishi Evolution, as you can see. And we do also quite a bit of grip racing stuff, or let's say time attack and other stuff like that.
To the US as well, you guys?
Yeah,
get
yeah,
mostly
quite a
focused-
bit to US. In US, the most popular thing is actually a Honda S2000.
Really?
That's a thing. I'm kind of surprised, but that's how it is. We sell way less Evos or Evo suspension than we sell S2000.
How
But,
many cars do you guys make the track suspension for?
we do it for Evolution, then we do Honda S2000, then we do GT86, GR86, and then we do a GTR R35. This is our, let's say, the super high-end baby with
Yeah.
billet knuckles like this and
Yeah.
all these things together.
They've
So-
never bought a kit from us for a track. That's why I'm asking. Like, it's something that's definitely I want to look
but
into.
for a certain amount of time, we put like a lot of effort into track stuff.
Yeah.
Because, you know, in general, that kind of market is way bigger than drifting.
Yeah.
Drifting is a nice tiny thing which
Yeah.
looks awesome, but if you talk about motorsport in general, then we are just
Road.
a tiny bit
Yeah.
compared to everything else around.
So, would you say you sell more road racing kits than?
No, not
than-
at all, not at
Okay.
all. Because for some reason it has been pretty hard to convince, let's say, old-fashioned racers to make that kind of upgrade. Also in drifting, if you have like a huge angle, you have really good steering feel,
Yeah.
you can understand it, you can make a difference. But in grip racing, convincing them that you have to throw in, let's say, close to 10K in value to your car to
Yeah.
get 0.2 seconds faster, or whatever it is, they will calculate the same money maybe to another turbo kit or whatever.
Turbo,
But I mean,
tires.
this is still a thing, but drifting is, let's say, drifting is bigger for us.
Got
We're
it.
selling more drift parts than these grip racing, and we also do some rally stuff. This is like E36 corner here. It was also made like years ago for some sort of trade show. So this one has a huge travel, as you can see. This one has a custom subframe.
That's all you, Joel.
So this is actually something that is very good also for grip racers, but this is pretty complicated one. As you can see, if you know like E36, then you can see here the knuckle is separate from the trailing arm.
Yeah.
Here you have two arms instead of one, or let's say a arm instead of one. So it's like a totally custom solution. As I said, it's made for rally, so we are using it, or let's say rally drivers are using it with a 280 millimeter stroke shocks.
Sure. Okay.
So let's say average drift coilover is something like 100, between 150 max millimeters. So we are talking pretty long ones. It means that, you know, all the camber and everything has to be the same. And yeah, this one, yeah, that's something that is necessary. That comes actually with a kit. It's something that is necessary for the long shock, because otherwise
you
you
box
just don't
it in
have-
and crease
yeah,
it
exactly,
about, yeah.
exactly. So the shocks were developed together with Riga, the company from Netherlands. They're pretty famous for that kind of rally and rallycross shocks. And yeah, we do quite a bit of rally stuff. Actually, we're selling a lot of axles to rally customers as well. And I mean, yeah, axles is another thing that you have also sold quite a bit.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this is becoming more and more popular thing. Yeah, I will show it later to you how we make those things.
Yeah, it's
But
good.
yeah,
It's good
that's-
stuff.
Yeah, that's how it is. Oh yeah, and by the way, not that it matters, but this evolution here, it's also should move around the same. Yeah,
Whoa.
it does the same way as the E92.
That's
So basically, this is the lowest point here. Somewhere in the middle, it has a couple of. Let's see where it goes. So this is the normal evolution ride height. So you can see that one corner is original evolution parts. You can
I
see it
see
more
that.
or less straight.
Yeah.
But if I'm lowering it, which is common for the race car, you have to make it low to be fast. Then you can see that already the arms are upside down. And now if you look the other corner, you can see that Wisefab arms are actually keeping together pretty well. And also there is no such a big camber change as it is with OEM arms.
I see that.
And that's like,
That's a
this
pretty
is the
big
OEM
increase.
part, as you can see. And if you check the other side, you
Wow.
can see how much different there is actually. I'm not saying that it's zero camber, but
Yeah.
it's way better. And
Yeah.
I can go to full bump. That's the lowest what you can do, and it's still.
Still like 1
it's
to
still
2 degrees.
yeah. But
and
check this
is like
side.
5.
This way, I think even more, like maybe
Yeah.
5, 6, something like that.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that it does. So we made that kind of trade show stand kind of thing for these things. And yeah, here we have offices. This is a sales office. I'm sitting here in this corner. here is sitting my colleague Magnus, who is working with your guys daily basis.
Okay.
Almost. If you have any questions, technical questions whatsoever. He's also on holidays, so that's what it is. Let's check here for a moment. This is the room. It's a messy one because this is for engineers.
Hello, guys.
So this is Duarte. This is
These
Alar,
are the brains.
Yes, this is Alar, our lead engineer. Alar is taking care of basically all the engineering and the main designs nowadays. This is Preet. Preet is also taking care of different angle kits and other projects what we have. And then we have a couple of other guys.
So the Mustang was the latest design, S550?
Yeah, and Mustang was created by Preet, so he can tell you everything about it. So he's behind the product.
What's the new one? Anything new coming up?
Oh yeah, sure. We're working on different projects. We are trying to do something more entry level. Let's say for a E90, for a 350Z, just to gain more attention on the grassroots.
Yeah, so to give you guys a little more insight, they focused a lot on competition style angle kits and they kind of missed the mark on the mini kits. So as the years progressed, that they are seeing that more and more people want to convert their street cars into drift cars. Instead of putting a full angle kit, you could just put a knuckle adapter, right? So now they're looking backwards into that. They kind of dominated the competition market, but now it's time to retrofit a little bit as more people are like, hey, let's maybe not spend $50,000 putting a car together and buy a Super or F80, like in my case, M2s, 2 Series, because they already compact. The engine platforms are great, so add a little angle kit and you're drifting that same weekend. Angle kit, little hydro, that's all you need.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there are plenty of customers like this, and even, let's say, part of them are growing to pro level, but it's kind of better to introduce them to our brand before they're getting that kind of level. So yeah, that's one thing. But we're working on sway bars, some cool projects you will see later there. So yeah, there's plenty of work to do. There's always something on the table.
Always something.
And you know, not everything is actually working out for the final product. So over the years, we have had, I have to say, quite a few projects which have been like super awesome. But for technical reasons, for marketing reasons or whatever, those things have never played out. So it's not always a big win situation. Sometimes you have to pay quite a bit for a learning curve or whatever. So that's how it is.
And
so
you guys usually take quite a bit of time to release a product, right? Like you go, as compared to many other companies, you develop a product, you test the product for quite a bit of time before you actually put it in the market. Is there a specific reason why you guys preferred that line?
Yeah, of course there is. I mean, the thing is, let's say for an angle kit, it takes a minimum 1 year to develop something from the scratch. You know, all the companies are starting basically the same way. You get the chassis, you do the 3D scanning. Obviously, it's my job to learn about the market, what options we have, what should we offer to a customer, etc. And then we start with kinematics. We will do some initial prototypes. Then we will work with these prototypes. We will do another batch of prototypes. Then we will start with testing. And usually we are testing in high-level competition for at least half of the season, or better, one season before we will release the product. And the main thing is that we don't like to make revisions. Okay. And I know that customers hate revisions because later they want to buy a control arm and it doesn't fit with your knuckle because the knuckle is version 1 and it's not fitting together with whatever revision it is, number 6 or 7 or 8. Yeah. So we're trying to do it as well as possible at first attempt. I'm not saying that it works out always, but usually it works like this. And also, we don't want to put our sticker on it if we're not sure that that's actually a product that customers really need. And we're always using some good high-level partners. Is it like James Dean, many other drivers around the world who help us to develop those products, especially if we're getting to the new field, like new chassis where we haven't been yet. So it takes quite a bit of time with them to test.
And James Dean helped you guys with the S550, right?
Yeah, that's correct. It's something that people don't say out loud often. But yeah, James's European car has Wisefab on it, and he was with us when we were testing it. He's getting feedback, and a couple of other guys, obviously in US. That took quite a bit of time to develop, but I'm pretty confident it's a really good kit if we're talking about the Mustang.
They got the G81 ready?
Soon? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this is the engineering office. Nothing too special, but let's move on. Yeah, here we have some meetings rooms and other stuff. It doesn't really matter, but let's get to production. That's the most interesting part. I'm sorry for the noise because CNC machines are working.
We have these on.
Yeah, we have microphones, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
So basically, this is all of our production, a little bit messy again. This is our test mule. This is our own drift car. It's E90, four-door sedan with a V8 turbocharged engine,
And
BMW engine.
Yeah, who's the driver on this?
There is no driver. This is like a test move for the company. So
Nice.
basically it has like 100 different sensors on it, and we're testing all kind of products and stuff right now. For example, it has some sway bar prototypes on it,
Yep.
because we're working on sway bars to make some really interesting adjustable sway bars,
want
bolt-on
some.
ones for
Yeah.
BMWs, and also for Nissans, of course. So
Can we look at the engine?
yeah, sure,
Yeah.
sure. We can open it up. No worries. Yeah, let's just put it like this. Yeah, that's all good. So this is actually our local test move. We bought it from a local drifter. It used to be basically a Pro-Am car. So
Nice
it's, yeah.
engine.
And it has like all kind of sensors and other stuff. You can actually see some sort of prototype here. Not that you see much, but it has like a sway bar on it. It works pretty well. And yeah, it's a prototype, so don't pay too much attention
Yeah.
on it, but still. So yeah, we're using it for angle kits, for grip kits, for all kind of stuff what we need to test. Because as I said, we're working a lot with different drivers, but quite often, especially in the first phase of something new, it takes so much time and effort to test those things that it's better to have our own test car.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just, you know, like a proof of concept kind of thing.
Do you guys
It works
have a
way
local
better.
track?
Yeah, we have a track which is like 40 kilometers away,
Oh,
which is, I don't know, like
close.
less than 30 miles, I believe,
Nice.
which we can use, and also some other tracks around. So this is not a question. It's like a 30-minute drive, and we're on a track.
So Estonia has their own level of competition, or is this something separate from like a Euro? I know to get to Drift Masters, you pretty much have to win something before you can make it to there. So is there like a Baltic series, or is it?
Of course,
something?
we have a local national series here in Estonia. Then we have Baltic series, which is covering like all Baltic states together. And yeah, just for example, considering that we are a really tiny country, 1.4 million people living in Estonia, then we have 2 Drift Masters drivers, which means that actually they have to be pretty good to be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have, as I said, we have local competitions. We have 4 or 5 tracks we can use for competitions here.
You said you're a judge at one of them?
Yes,
Oh, okay,
that's correct. I'm judging quite a bit globally.
Yeah.
So for example, in August, I will do the Iron Drift King in Germany as well as a
Got
judge.
it.
That's what I do. I mean, I used to be a drifter myself, like 10 years ago,
Yeah.
but I had to focus more on my business and family at one point. So I decided to kind of be related to drift in other ways.
Aspects,
like
yeah.
any other aspects, like judging. I have also done some commentating on events and other stuff like that.
Nice.
And now obviously it's my job for quite some time already.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. So yeah, this is like an engineering area what we have here. Just some, you can see all the labels like protos, other stuff laying around. We're making a lot of tests. I mean, when it comes to development, and for us, tests are the #1 things to do. So that's what it is. Here, behind this door, we have a tiny room where 3 guys are working daily basis.
Yeah.
Let me see. So we have welders here.
Nice.
So you can just
Take a peek.
check
Oh,
it.
I
So
see.
it's a little area, as you can see, nothing too special. But we have 3 of them, and yeah, 8 hours per day, and they can weld all those knuckles and control arms together what we need. That's how it is. So as you can see, a BMW E30 is 46
A
control
lot of
arms
them.
and other stuff like that. So yeah, this is actually the only place where we have AC. We don't have AC because the climate is like this. We usually
Yeah.
don't need it, maybe 5 days,
Yeah.
5 days per year. But welders have their own AC, fresh air and
Mask,
everything,
yeah,
all the
it's
masks
nice.
and stuff. Because
Very
if you
nice.
sit there for 8 hours, they're young guys. They don't want to, you know, get too old too quickly because
Yeah.
of the environment.
heat,
So that's
yeah.
what it is. So behind you, we have all the parts which are prepared for welding. So basically these things are coming from laser cutters, which you will see shortly. So everything is kind of ready. You can see 550 here. It means some Mustang stuff here. That's how we're putting everything on shelf before we start to weld those
Do you
things.
guys do everything in-house?
Yes,
Everything?
at least 95% in-house,
Yeah.
basically from the tiny spacer
Yeah.
till the big knuckle. Everything is done in-house. The only
Powder
things,
coat and everything?
the only things we don't do actually is powder coating and anodizing.
Got it.
Not because we couldn't do it, but we have really good partners literally around the corner, like
it.
1 kilometer away. And they are holding in stock quite a bit of blue powder. So every day we're sending 2 up to 3, 4 pallets to powder coating and getting those back next morning.
Is there a specific reason for the blue, or that was just a color?
I mean, back in a day, guys were just looking around what options we have on the table which were not used yet. And blue was one of those. And the Estonian national flag is blue, black and white, which means blue is more, let's say, more important for us than any other color maybe. So that's basically a thing.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So this area actually it's pretty interesting. As you can see, it's pretty greedy and doesn't look good, but these are actually the test benches for axles. So if we talk about the axles a little, what we do quite a bit. Last year we were selling close to 400 sets of axles. This year we're expecting 600, 650, so we'll see how it goes. But these benches are all for testing. This one, for example, it's electric motor with a gearbox. This here is a big brake, as you can see, with 2 calipers from Land Cruiser, I guess, or something. So we will put our axle between it and we will start to twist it slowly and breaking it down from here. It has that kind of sensors here, that kind of thing in one end and the other end. So we can change, we can see how much it twists.
Stress test.
Yeah, exactly. And it also has some weight sensor, so we can easily see how much torque it generates. So basically this one helps us to measure how much torque the axle can get. You can see how much it has twisted. Before it snaps. This one is not snapped even. It starts to get bent. So and we can also put it on the angle, so we can change the angle to see how much it takes.
So explain this line to the viewers.
Yeah, the line is something that we're putting on our axles, and the main reason for it is that those axles are so-called energy-absorbing axles or twisting axles. So this part is the, let's say, the most softest or weakest one in whole assembly. So if you're clutch kicking, pulling the handbrake on the wrong time or whatever, the axle or the shaft actually twists. So after some time there will be some permanent damage to this shaft. So you can see from this line how much it has been twisted. We're saying that it's totally safe up to 90 degrees. In real life it will last more than 180 degrees. You can go for 360 even before it breaks. But at least you see that it's already twisted so much that it might be time to change it, because most, let's say, competitors, they don't use such system or they're making just super rigid part. The whole idea of this thing is not to make it weak actually, it's to save your diff, your gearbox and other things like that. Because I mean, CV joint usually doesn't let you know in advance that it will explode. It just explodes and that's it, it's gone. But this one shows you that, okay, I have taken quite a bit of abuse, so it's time to deal with it. This week or week before, we sent a couple of shafts to Papadakis. He's using those axles on all of his race cars, like Aspo, obviously, Castro, and also the Corolla, what Ryan Turk is driving. All these have Wisefab axles on it. And he just let us know that, hey, the axle has twisted now from the beginning of the season for 90 degrees. They're using pretty beefy tires on those. So we just send the shafts and you can just replace the shaft. So you can reuse all the other parts. So it's pretty easy to put it together and take it apart. So this is the bench where we're testing that kind of stuff.
You test the torque, but do you test shock as well over there?
Like this one is for the torque. It turns slowly. So torque is not the only thing. This one here, this one has 2 gearboxes, and actually it will take 2 axles together. It's some kind of rubber boot, whatever test here. But usually what we do with this one is that we can slow down one engine to change the speed. So we can measure the torque what we're putting here on this one, and we can go 100 kilometers an hour for 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, and then we can see what happens with the CV joints, how quickly they're wearing out, what happens with the grease inside, when it starts to boil. You know, all these things, how the rubber booth will last. You can see this one most likely didn't last. So we can make all these tests for durability.
What is this axle from? Like just a regular BMW or something?
This is not a BMW. I believe that's
Nissan.
Something like that. Something like that. I actually believe it's even from Tesla, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the front one. But that's for that kind of purpose, just to see how long they will last, what the grease does, and also.
So to you guys, it's very important sizing, like the axle, like what happened with Adam's.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. The background actually is that Risto, our owner of the company, is also a teacher in university, which means basically whatever we do when it comes to up to new products, then it's kind of like a scientific way. So we have to test it, we have to understand it before we can release it. So it's not just making some bigger and stronger parts, it's understanding what is the weak point, how it works like this, and all that kind of stuff. So as you can see, all these things are built just for testing. And this is the last one. So basically this machine here, that's the most interesting one. What we have here is a like huge flywheel, the electric engine. Then we have half shaft axle, however you call it, and we have a BMW rear corner. This is like E36 trailing arm, basically what we have. So this one here is a swing. You can take this swing, put it up to 90 degrees, and to here we're adding some load, like heavy metal parts. So we can go up to 300 kilos. Then we will spin this thing for 100 kilometers an hour, and we'll release the swing so it smashes the wheel when it turns 100 kilometers an hour. So we have a field suspension coil over here, which has seen quite a bit of abuse, obviously. But what this thing does is that it gives the peak to the CV joints.
Yeah.
It's basically like you're grabbing handbrake when being on a full throttle, or making some jump in a drift car and landing on a full throttle. So that actually gives a lot of energy to those CV joints, so we can see how long these things will last. I believe this one is from 7 Series, G Series BMW right now, what we have. So we're testing all the OEM axles, competitors' axles and other stuff to see how well these things will last, what are the weak points, and what we have to be better, what we have to do better. So this is pretty interesting. When this thing is landing on the tire, there will be quite a bit of tire smoke, a big bang, and everything at the that's the thing. As you can see, we have pretty sticky tire here as well, just to get all the grip what we need. So as you can see, we're testing the peak, we're testing the twist, we're testing the wear, all these things. So that's what, and this is all only for axles. So you can imagine that for the other stuff we do even more. So this is the metal cutting area. We have a couple of laser cutting machines. As I said, we're cutting everything in-house. We can cut up to, actually we can cut thicker material, but the control arms and other stuff is made from 20 millimeter steel. So everything is cut here. And also the other parts, whatever we need to cut. There's plenty of material, 2 machines working. Usually that's how it goes. All the parts are coming out like this. And the next machine is a bending machine. Nothing too special, just average machine.
This machine is cool.
Yeah, it is. This is a new one. We most likely will move out the old one before Christmas or something like that.
Look at that thing.
This one is just, it arrived like a couple of months ago, I would say.
What are you guys cutting right now?
These are, as I can see, these are the GT86 rear lower control arms.
Nice.
By the shape. And some other parts. Everything is mixed and matched. You know, because right now it most likely cuts something like 3 millimeter steel. So we're putting all the necessary parts together. And considering how many different products we have, it's quite a bit of effort to always have things in stock, which what we do. That's not the problem. But you know, the mathematics behind it is pretty unique, I have to say.
It is.
Just right now we're cutting these things because we know that we're running out of the control arms, let's say in upcoming month. Because all the other things have to be finished. Like basically maybe another machine is right now making some spacers for those control arms. So everything has to be calculated really well, that everything is coming together at a certain point of time.
And how much is a machine like this would cost?
This one?
Yeah.
250, 300,000. Not too much, to be honest.
It's pretty cool.
The older one, it was more expensive back in the day. But you know, these things are getting more and more efficient, so you don't need any more so big machine. Just the technology is way better. But that's how it is. All these CNC machines, they are around 300 to 500,000. So this is some sort of rack relocation part. It just waits for some bending and other stuff. These are actually the handbrake gauges. As you know, we're coming up with handbrake, what I will show you later. So this will be bent together, and it's gonna be the handbrake gauge.
That's cool.
So all the part numbers and stuff on it, just to be sure that people know what these things are. Yeah, all these parts are waiting to be bent.
So that's the bender?
Yeah, that's a bender.
Yeah.
A pretty simple machine, but it does the job, so.
So he sits there all day, bends all day.
Actually, we have one operator for a laser machine and also for bender, because you know you don't have to deal with this machine. Once you put the sheet in, it does the job in upcoming hour. So you can use this time for bending the parts. And the good thing is that if you're cutting those parts, you will make sure that they're cut well, so you can bend those things well. So you know that's how it works. So this is a CNC area here. We got this area like a year ago. when we started, we had like 1/3 of this facility what we have, but we have pushed out all the neighbors. So now we have just one left behind the wall.
Nice.
But most likely they will be gone one day as well. So this is a CNC machinery area. We have five or six CNC machines. Let's
walk around.
Yeah, let's walk around. Then you can see how it looks. So we are using Japanese machines from a company called Okuma. We also have one Hurko. Most machines are from Japan. So right now, what we're making here, you recognize the part? It's a BMW Knuckle add-on for E36 or 46,
Nice.
something like that. So this machine is right now making those parts. It's actually able to make so big aluminum parts as well.
Oh,
so we
really?
can make like a GTR knuckle in this one. That's
How
not a
many
problem.
axes is this?
This one has 4. Most of our machines have
Yeah.
4. We just don't have anything to do with 5 axles.
Yeah.
And as you can see, even the control arms, which are cut with a laser cutter,
Yeah.
these are going also to CNC because those holes have to be machined to precise measurement to
Yeah.
put the bearing in. And yeah, you can see already it has been done here. So all these things are getting into machine just to make sure that everything is precise. And the same thing comes about those holes here, that we could cut those with a machine, but this one is way more precise.
Yeah.
That's something that we really need. And also when it comes to welded knuckles, then after the welding, we will put this thing in a machine to make some holes and also to be sure that the bearing surface and the brake caliper surface are parallel.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if we weld this thing together, you know, it always will twist
Yeah.
the material a little, just to be sure. This is like a GT86 version 2 knuckle. And one interesting thing to show you, do you happen to know what is it? This is the gauge inside the CV joint. They will just
okay,
make those holes here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're making these things also in-house. We have a special treatment to harden those
Yeah.
things. So we're making all these things also in-house just to be sure that the CV joints
Yes,
are lasting
yeah.
as long as possible. And it's a lot of effort actually. You're just taking a big piece of material, making it empty
Yeah.
inside, making the holes, not much left.
And what's this made out of? Exactly.
I can't tell you exactly the alloy
Secret
and the
stuff.
treatment, how we do it, but
Yeah.
it's a German steel and
Got
pretty hard one.
Got
But
it.
it has to be in all these things together. As I said, we're making big parts and small parts. So right now we're making some special screws or bolts or however you call it. It's also something for E46 and 36. Also, if you look behind here, these are the double adjuster parts,
Yeah.
and these are also, they're pretty complicated even if they're so small. So we're making these things in-house as well. So all these machines, as you can see, are working right now. You know, as the quality and availability are the most important things for
Yeah.
us. So we have decided that let's better build the production unit instead of outsourcing things, because then we have the best possible control over everything.
Of course.
And during the COVID time, it actually paid off really, really well, because we managed to get material from Europe, from Sweden and Germany as we're getting it. And we managed to keep working and deliver parts. And that was very important, because when outsourcing things to, let's say, overseas, these things are not very easy when COVID kicks in or anything like that.
No, it makes
So yeah,
sense.
that's how it is. We also have like a very simple turning machine for all kind of support modes and other stuff what we have to do. And this is actually the area where we usually scan the cars. It's also pretty messy at the moment, because during the evenings, every worker can use this area for fixing their hobby cars or whatever they like to do.
Are you guys doing something with Teslas?
What do you think?
general?
Yes, we do.
Yeah?
Yes, we do. As you can see, it already has some wheels and stuff. So basically, this is one of the next projects. Nobody knows about it much, and we have official video coming out shortly, so I have to push now to be before you out with this video. Not that it really matters, but
So
I mean,
it's a drift car.
it is a drift car. Yeah,
Okay.
it drifts pretty well. I can show you some footage later.
Yeah.
But basically, it's not going to be a pro car, but every summer we have quite a few students from university working for us.
Yeah.
Doing some practice and other stuff. So this year we decided that let's do something for Tesla. Let's see how well it's gonna drift.
So what do you guys do? Lock up the two motors in the front and then just use the two in the back?
Oh yeah, to be honest, making the angle kit, it doesn't have like 65 degrees. The whole idea is to make something that family guys can use. They can convince their wives that we should buy Tesla because it's green, it's electric, it's quiet, all these things. in real life, it's a beast, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's a beast. Yeah, I mean, most petrol heads or other drifters will tell me that I'm stupid, and most likely I am, but it is a fast car.
It is.
So if you can add some, let's say, mild angle kit for it, or something like that, you will do some upgrades for the software. It can actually drift quite well. The hardest part wasn't actually to make the angle kit. The hardest part was to deal with electronics.
Yes.
Because Sir Elon is always watching on us and he's doing everything that it takes that you're unable to drift this car. So like this one is dual motor, which means like 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So turning off the front totally, taking off the regen from the brakes, because otherwise if you grab the handbrake, it will start to regen and you know things are going crazy. Even like adding this handbrake, it was pretty hard.
Yeah.
To teach Tesla that it doesn't have to go crazy about it, you know, to turn off all the controls and everything. It was pretty hard, but it is possible. And nowadays we have quite a bit of knowledge.
So did you guys do a type of suicide brake on it, or did you just tie this like directly to a dual caliper?
No, it's dual caliper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we put additional calipers on it because Tesla brakes are just going super crazy when you grab those things. We're even not yet sure, is it becoming a real product or not? And that's a question actually to people watching this video. Let us know in the comments.
Tesla, I know
Let
that.
us know in the comments, are you interested in it?
Cheap now
Yeah, they are.
US,
They're, I don't want to say dirt cheap, but compared to what they were like 4 years ago, they are close to dirt cheap. So the whole idea was that it can be like a street car, and even we're keeping the front half shafts or axles in it. So you can just make it 4-wheel or 2-wheel, and you can use the same kit obviously on the rear wheel car if you like, and it drifts pretty well. I would say if you're going to the track, driving to the track, which is, as I said, 30 minutes to drive from here, you can shred 3 pairs of tires. You still have 50% of juice left in the battery, and you can drive back home. Wow. So basically you're dropping your kids to soccer practice. Going to the racetrack, shredding some tires, and you can go back and pick up your kids.
How much torque would you say it still makes with the dual motor instead of the all-wheel? Because I know they make more than 1,000, right? If you like with all 4.
Yeah, they do. But to be honest, it's more like I would say when it comes to drivability or the power, what you feel behind the wheel, then it's something similar. Like you take like a pretty mild LS engine, let's say LS1 or like
just get on it immediately.
5.3. It has the torque, it has the power, but not like 1,000 horsepower or anything like that. So the torque is enough to be a fun car, but not for a pro level. And that's not the thing what we're trying to do right now.
Since it doesn't have a clutch, how do you, it's just power over and then get on it?
I mentioned that the lock kit wasn't the big problem. Actually, there were quite a few things we had to do in a different way than we usually do. I don't go into the details, but the main thing is that it has electric steering rack. And especially this electric steering rack doesn't have much steering feel whatsoever. It meant that we have to push quite a bit with other parameters to make it self-steer. That's the thing, because otherwise it doesn't self-steer. You always have to have your hands on the steering wheel. But I'm pretty sure that we managed to do it in a proper way. So this is like ongoing project this summer. We started already during the Christmas, I guess. But yeah, the most effort has gone into the finding all the ways how to manipulate the electronics. Because it's not one piggyback, there are like many of those. Also like to install the LSD differential or limited slip differential into this, you have to drop the engine, you have to take the engine apart, you have to do many things like this. It's not like putting the element in. There is like for 2 guys, 2 days work to put the element in.
And how did you do the LSD transfer in this? Is there a company that specifies these?
I believe like
in the US, right?
Yeah, in US. You can buy, I think it was like Cars, what we have, Cars, or something else, or was it Quaifa? I don't remember exactly. But those companies are actually offering that kind of limited slip thing, and it works pretty well, to be honest. It spins both wheels, no problem whatsoever. So yeah, that kind of fun project here. But I do believe that some people would slide those things around, you know, just for fun.
What caliper did you use in the back as the dual
I believe it's
caliper?
something from Beamer, just easy to get. Yeah, we had to make some brackets and other stuff for it, of course, to make it fit.
That's a cool project.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, quite a bit of effort, way more than we were expecting. But that's kind of, it's always like this. I haven't seen any project where you expect more trouble than you're running into.
Quite nice facility, I'll tell you that much.
A lot of mess, as you can see, but it's a production unit. It means that we're working here. Another thing that I want to show you, this weird-looking machine. This is something that we use for the rod ends and bearings. So we're getting those from our supplier. These are done according to our recipe, according to our material specification and everything. But even if the supplier is really good one, some of them are too stiff, some are too loose.
They are.
So we have developed ourselves a machine. We're putting all these rod ends, or however we call these things, into machine, and it will spin those things around, and it will give us certain kind of number. The number shows, is it too stiff, too loose, or is it normal?
Really?
So we can separate those which are not as good as we expect them to be. And also we have another machine where we can work on these which are too stiff, you know, basically to work those in.
And they'll soften
Yeah,
them.
to soften them a little. So each of the rod end or bearing goes through this machine,
Wow.
meaning that we're trying to put as much effort in as possible to make
That's
these
crazy.
things last. As I mentioned, the axles, what we do, we also do hubs. I mean, those hubs are just made for our axles because we have one sort of outer CV joint what we use, and this one has a BMW spline. When we developed this outer CV joint, we understood that this is one of the best options to do, and making different outer CV joints with different spline takes way more effort.
All of them.
All
are
the
same.
CV joints are the same, so to make this BMW spline fit to what we have here. We have E3646 small bearing, for example. To make it fit, we are making different hubs that are coming together with axles. It looks the same as normal hub on your car, like S-chassis hub, for example. You will just press it into the wheel bearing, and the inner spline is fitting with our CV joint. So basically, these things are also included with axles. So it's pretty simple, but it's way easier for us to produce those things. You can see we have different variations for different cars. F22, for example, E90 stuff, whatever it is. Honda, even for Honda Civic, we're doing the front wheel drive axles for rally cars.
Nice.
So yeah, all things like this. All kind of parts, tie rods. We do have some stock for field suspension, as we are the distributor for field suspension in Europe. So all the field suspension comes through us. We're ordering these things on big pallets, getting those in containers. So we're stocking the most common coilovers from field suspension, so that everybody can get their hands on as quickly as possible. That's very important. And also spare parts. We can sell one corner, we can sell spring, whatever is needed.
Nice.
Here you can see some stuff that is packed. I will explain later, but usually we don't pack stuff in advance for a very good reason. But these are grip racing Subaru Impreza knuckles, drop knuckles, basically front and rear. We don't produce those too much, so this pallet is ready to be sent to US warehouse, because these products also for
sell a lot of
these are selling a lot in US. So this is a warehouse, and this is Carl. Carl is the manager for the warehouse.
How you doing? Nice meeting you.
So yeah, Carl is taking care of warehouse. We have approximately 4 guys working here. As I said, Carl is a manager. He's taking care of shipments and all the information what we're giving him from the sales department. And then we have like 3 guys
ship
who are
very fast, by the way.
Yeah, we're doing our best. I mean, as you see, we have basically everything in stock, and we had a target for ourselves that no order should be in-house for longer than 3 days after the payment. Usually we can ship in 1 or 2 days. It depends what time of the day the order comes in, because the courier is just picking it up. We're using UPS for international shipments, so they're picking it up just after lunch. But yeah, this is a warehouse right now.
It saved me various times. I'm going to a track, I message in, I'm like, I need a part by Friday, it's Wednesday. He gets it there.
To East Coast it comes usually, even from European warehouse, it comes with 2 up to 3 days. That's
quick.
how it is. To West Coast it takes 1 day more. But it's pretty fast, and we do have a warehouse in US, so if it's like a standard stuff what you need, usually we're asking those things which are not standard, but if it's standard, then we can ship it from California. And actually it doesn't make big difference even for the final customer if we're shipping it from Europe or from California, because shipping will take basically the same time. That's what it is.
It's incredible.
So yeah, basically this is a warehouse. Everything is prepared. So if you look on this side for a moment, then you can see that everything is basically put into the plastic like this. So guys are assembling in the other part of the warehouse all these parts, and everything is laying on the shelves like this. Why we don't pack everything into the kits is that quite often we're using the same part in different kits, which means that, let's say, like a good example, a classic E36 and 46, they're using the same control arm, the same tie rod. Some other parts are very similar to each other, which means that if I have like 20 sets packed on the shelf for like 46, and I'm missing something for 36, then I have to unpack it. So it's easier to pack everything when the order comes in. And like packing a pallet for you, I believe guys are actually starting right now to pack a pallet.
Good.
Because I saw some bigger order coming in from your side. So it usually takes like 1-2 days, and yeah, they will just pack the stuff, and yeah, that's how the boxes are look like. So we have order number here, the name of the product. Every day we're shipping 20 up to 40 boxes. So that's how it goes. And yeah, all the parts are ready. So if you look here, for example, then we have that kind of manual, and this is a packing machine. I will turn it on. But anyways, we have like a packing manual. So whoever will pack the kit, they have all the information what you have to put into this one. So you have all the numbers. You can find these things on the shelf just to be sure that everything is correct.
I love that
inside
you
the
guys
box.
have those diagrams online too.
Yeah, I mean, for the spares, it's very
buy
important.
the spares, pick part by part. It's very easy to find. Any customer that needs anything, I just tell them, like, go on the site, tell me exactly what you need. It makes it extremely easy.
And yeah, a lot of stuff prepared here.
So the stuff that you guys have in the US, it's already pre-packaged, or
it
it's like
it is
this
already
as well?
pre-packed. In US, we are pre-packing it. Certain things what we don't, like handbrakes, for example, I will show it later. This will be released in a couple of weeks maximum. But other things are already pre-packed. So basically, we're sending stuff to US on big pallets. Everything is already ready to go. If it's necessary, Mike, our sales guy in US, he can take the box apart, and we're sending like spare parts also, so that we're filling in one big box with tiny spare parts. Later, he's putting these on the shelf, and that's how it goes. And yeah, we were talking about the handbrakes. I have a couple of options here. These are not yet assembled, but that's basically how it will look like. We have 2 different lengths. Yeah, this is the shorter one.
Yeah, he gave 2 of these out at our last event, the AMP event, to the best drivers, taxi garage guys. Ended up winning them. But,
yeah, and this is
cool.
This is the longer version.
Yeah.
And we will have, this is like a forward-facing cylinder cage, but we have like a classic version as well.
So it'll be reverse mount.
Yeah, this is like a reverse, and we have a classic one as well. There will be 3 different colors available: space gray, black, and blue.
Nice.
And they're pretty nice, to be honest. I really like those.
Yeah. You can never have enough handbrakes, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's the
like
thing.
We have probably 20 to 30 handbrakes on the
in
site.
Atlanta, I had a chance to see all these in one area.
Every time a new handbrake comes out, it outsells all the other ones because everybody wants like the latest handbrake, like the best, something different. They don't want, because this guy uses the, let's say the IRP one for a long time now. Like when you come out with something cool like that, it's definitely gonna sell.
Yeah,
you
so
can never have enough handbrakes.
This is going to be available pretty shortly. We're adding actually, I mean, obviously, this one is on bearings.
Yeah.
So it doesn't move on the sides whatsoever. And also we're adding a special spring to this location, because especially with those wheelwood cylinders, these are great ones. Everybody using those, but these have a wear play in it, which means if you have a handle here that it moves back and forward. So we are adding special spring on the side that kind of releases it as much as possible, so it doesn't. So it doesn't wobble around.
Yeah.
So these springs are right now in the making. As soon as these are ready, the packing table, everything is ready to go to the boxes, into boxes, and this is the area where guys are assembling the parts. So basically, parts are coming from parts are coming from the paint shop. He's putting some bearings in. These are the trailing arms for BMW. Those are very popular ones. And yeah, just the bearings, bolts, spacers, everything will be prepared here. So yeah, this is like a really good one. It has different grip options and stuff. Some of that is legal in FT, something is not, but it's all written in the manual, so people know what they have to do. When we were developing it, actually, every product that we're developing, we're doing it together with Kevin Wells from FT, just to be sure that we don't have any violation in the rules. Because I really don't want to do it so that he will ban some product because he wasn't aware how it works.
Most of the drivers in Europe now going to this after Knuckle put it on?
I mean, it's not only because of Knuckle. In Europe, it's actually easier to get those parts than it is in US. That's for sure. Because, for example, in US, people are often using M3 versions because those are the strongest ones.
Yeah, it's
but
hard.
Literally the same thing is on BMWs, which are diesels in Europe.
Yeah.
We have plenty of diesels. We have like 100 times more diesel BMWs than M3s, which means that we have some options around. But to be honest, like having 12 caliper system integrated, like having a ball bearings, having like this grip option, having many other features in it, it makes way more sense to have it. Another thing is that original BMW trailing arm, it's hollow inside, which means that it doesn't bend, it will just crack. Yeah, exactly. What happened with Adam, it just breaks and that's it. This one, it's almost impossible to break. The thing what you can do is you can bend it. But bending a trailing arm a little and still, you know, you can just still adjust things so that you can drive. It's way better than just breaking it. It's the same like I explained about the axles. So yeah, that's how it works. So all the parts are, these are coming back from galvanizing, some sort of double adjuster. I believe it's for it's Mustang 550. So this is for a lower control arm for Mustang. So
big boys.
Yeah, it's like a double adjuster goes in here, so you can adjust the caster very easily on a car. All kind of Ackerman washers, custom cone bolts.
And all those made
and all
in-house.
These things are made in-house.
Wow.
So everything is made in-house. And sometimes it's pretty hard, to be honest. But I mean, it is what it is. We have to deal with it. And as you can see, there are many shelves filled with everything like that, like all these tiny custom things. Everything is done in-house. And yeah, everything has a number. All the guys knows how to put it together. The same thing is, as I showed you, we have a manual how to pack things together when it goes to the customer. The same thing goes about assembling the parts. So they have a diagram. Yeah, so that's basically it. It's a little bit messy thing, but we have.
Messy. This is one of the cleanest machine shops I've ever been in my life.
And yeah, we were talking about the axles.
This to me, someone that's very organized and OCD.
That's
Love
okay?
It. All right.
Love it. Yeah, as I said, we don't have such a showroom or anything like you do, but
you don't need a showroom.
Basically, the final part here, this is the shelf for the shafts. So we have different length after every 15 millimeter, and we also have a software. So if your guys are sending in information like, I need some axles for E46, the length of the axle is whatever, 580 millimeters, for example. I have a Bulldog differential, I have big BMW bearing. Then I will put all this information to the system and it will calculate that you need that kind of shaft, you need that kind of CV joint, you need that kind of adapter, you need that kind of bolts. So everything is also automated. I'm just putting this data in and it will calculate everything. So yeah, that's basically it. That's Wisefab.
That's all. We're
of course on the second floor we have a kitchen, we have restrooms, we have dressing rooms, showers, everything.
All you need is a little track for us to take this out.
Yeah, you know, the plan is to build a new factory in upcoming years. Right now it's not yet sure.
A little skid
and
pad.
then we will have a small skid pad or track around the factory for sure. That's the plan. Cool. So yeah, if people are coming over, they can shred some tires and do some stuff like that.
That'd be awesome. But I appreciate you taking us on the tour. We're gonna see you probably tomorrow in Riga. Riga is 3 hours from here, so me, Joel, we're gonna get back on the car, drive over there, go see HEK and Adam and the boys working on a car. But when we do see him tomorrow, we're gonna just look at a couple cars, meet a new drivers that we've never talked to before, and just enjoy the track. That's what we came here to do. So I appreciate it again. Awesome facility.
Thank you very much.
We're more than amazed.
See you in Riga, guys. So we are in the paddock. We have close to 60 drivers this weekend, and we will walk around a little. I will show you what cars we have here and what kind of products we have on those cars. But to be honest, we have pretty big variety of parts available. So let's just walk and I will introduce you to some drivers and I will show you some cars around what we have in Europe here. We have Latvian driver Edgars Grogaris. He's driving two pretty similar LS-powered F22 chassis. I don't even remember which one is younger, which one is older chassis. One was built last winter, another is like a couple of years old. And those are HEK built, halfly. Something is done by themselves as well. And yeah, these cars are obviously on Wisefab. The front kit, the rear kit. This one is with a Magnuson supercharger. This one is slightly more powerful. And the other one is, I believe, naturally aspirated, what we have here. And yeah, as you can see, both front and rear, these are on Wisefab, nice wheel boots on it. Pretty simple solution on field suspension. This car for sure is not the most powerful one here in the grid, but it has a lot of grip and it's pretty fast. So we will see tomorrow how he's gonna do in qualification. So let's jump to the other side. We have 350 and 370Z here. So this is actually a driver from Estonia. He's driving one of those cars, 350 at Drift Masters. He's a wild card this time, so he's not doing the full season, but actually he's a pretty famous YouTuber. He's there. Let's say hi. Hello, sir.
Hello, Tarmo.
How are you doing? So basically it's also front and rear on Wisefab. It has what kind of engine? The original engine from...
Original, yeah, VQ35E.
Plus turbo, obviously. So you're making like 650 horsepower, I guess, on this original, more or less original engine. Yeah. Obviously, it's forged internals and everything. But yeah, pretty nice setup, to be honest. Nothing too special, but he's running very interesting gearbox, which is from Czech Republic. The sequential gearbox, a really nice one. Let's see, can we open it up as well? What was the brand for the gearbox? GMA. Yeah, that's something from Czech Republic, something really nice and strong. Kind of simple setup, but does all the job. So I cross my fingers because he's from my home country, from Estonia. And let's see how it goes tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I have some troubles in training. I hit the wall twice.
Like really?
Yeah, steering pump stopped working.
Okay.
But yeah.
You will fix it. You
Yeah,
will fix it for tomorrow.
Fix it and drive it, and then it's good now.
All right, perfect. All right, see you, man. Take care.
Thank you.
So on the other side, I can see there a Lithuanian car, E92, by Benediktas Čirba. Benediktas Čirba is basically the best Lithuanian driver, and he has been around in Driftmaster for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years maybe. So this car is also on Wisefab. It used to be something else, but he's now for quite some time. Hey Benediktas, how you doing, man? All good?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, he's one of the best, or actually the best in Lithuania, and this is a really nice setup. It's 2JZ under the hood. Winters, of course, everything like a normal drift car. And I think it's like a third version of this car. He used to have quite a few like this before. And for the next season, he's actually building M2 G series BMW. So it's gonna be brand new chassis for the next year. But yeah, other than that, it's really nice build. So here we have E46, which is also on Wisefab. This is a driver from Estonia, Oliver Randalu. So he's doing also full season at Drift Masters. And a couple of years ago, he finished up on a 6th position, I guess, in total at the end of the season. So it's M50 based engine, which makes approximately 750 horsepower to the wheels, which is great. This is one of the most high-end M50 engines you can find in Europe. So it's a pretty nice setup. Yeah, you like it? Of course you do. So yeah, you can see some blue stuff on it, front and rear also. He's on a BC coilover. Oliver, kui palju jõudu see teeb? How much power it makes?
So actually we just dynoed it week before this one, and it made 630 kilowatts at the hubs.
Kilowatts.
Kilowatts.
Horsepower, it's like 800-ish.
It's 950 or something like that. But
Really cool.
yeah, but we took it down because actually we don't need that much here. So we were just actually testing. But yeah, it made 630 and
kilowatts.
yeah, and 1050 Newton meters.
But we know all the tricks and everything else, so we can do it here in Europe. So this is German driver Max Heinrich. He has been around for more than a decade in high-level drifting in Europe. I believe it's S13 with a 15 front, right? So it should be JZ powered, I believe so. And obviously it's on Wisefab. So here is the guy actually behind you. Hey Max, how you doing? So what you have under here?
Just
A JZ.
yeah, the GE version, Wisefab version 3. On this track, it really makes it.
Yeah, it's a front track edition. So
feels
that's a
really
new
good.
thing for this season, I believe.
It feels really smooth on the fast-flowing track. It's really nice to drive here. I can really feel now the difference from the version 2. On this track, it's really nice. Yeah.
A nice and simple setup. The rear is also on Wisefab.
Yeah.
And I believe you're also on field coilovers, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
The front is 441 and the rear is 442, so yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. And a really nice car. I like the livery, to be honest. Alrighty, thank you very much, man.
Yeah.
See you around.
Alright.
See you around. To be honest, I was waiting for this because he has a super nice Supra, Supra, which is on Wisefab, and I'm happy for it. And as I understood from James, it's actually pretty good car to drive.
He loves it, absolutely loves it. I love it. I just need some spares because, you know, I'm not saying I'm going to crash, but there's a high likelihood that going to Iron Drift King and different events that we may need
Yeah.
some spares. So
I'm gonna be at Iron Drift King as well. I'm gonna be one of the judges for this event, so I will see how you drive. So be prepared.
got my wallet here.
Yeah. So yeah, let's work out something for the spares before. I mean, the track is pretty awesome, but it's also dangerous.
Yes.
So it's better to be prepared.
I'd rather go there and then break one arm and not be able to compete. So I know your stuff is designed to not damage more when it hits something, but it's nice to always have it.
Of course. I mean, usually it is. If you have spares, you don't need those. If you don't have spares, you need those.
Exactly.
That's
I
what
have
it is.
engines sitting there that I'll never use because I bought a spare engine.
Yeah, and if you leave it at home, your engine gonna blow.
Exactly.
That's how it is.
So it was great to
So
see
yeah,
you.
let's keep in touch afterwards and let's make it happen then. Alrighty. So what we have here, we have James Dean here. That's another chassis, another JZ powered car. James has been our ambassador for many years and he has helped us to develop tons of different products like angle kits for different chassis, multiple versions, some other stuff like sway bars. We have tested many things with him. So yeah, this car is like a good example how good those kits can be and also how well they will last, because James is always shredding hard. He's not holding back whatsoever. He's here to win the competition, you know.
How are you?
Very good.
All good?
Yeah, yeah. So how is the car holding together, James?
Very good.
Very good. You like it?
Through a lot of events this year between Oman and the Middle East and Drift Masters, and it just keeps them performing. Like it's sick.
Yeah.
I love it. It's working really well. Of course, we're running the new V3 Wisefab in front. I love it. Steering doesn't get stuck anymore.
Yeah. James was.
We're testing all the components in many different crashes.
So yeah, I'm happy for this. I mean, James has so much seat time that he can tell everything about those products because, you know, he knows everything. He's one of the very few guys who is very talented in driving and giving some feedback. Not everybody are able to do so. So we are really lucky to have him on board for making those things happen.
I'm also looking at Wisefab. I'm more into popping new crazy ideas and testing new products, and we all keep learning together. Let's go.
Yeah, that's how it is. So thank you for that and see you. Good luck, man. So yeah, let's see, do we have anything else interesting here? All right, so we have Jack Shanahan here, one of Shanahan brothers.
Hello.
You all know Connor, of course, in US, but Jack has been in drifting for way longer, so he basically taught Connor how to drive, I guess so.
Yeah, well, still teaching sometimes.
So here we have a GT86.
Yeah.
How long have you driven this car, Jack?
This car I have since 2019, I think, was the first season. With
2019, so
GT86
quite a
chassis.
few seasons, right?
Yeah, it's a long time now.
Yeah, and this car is also on Wisefab, obviously, and it's version 2 Wisefab, which has, I believe Jack has the rear rack on this car, and Connor has the... You changed the front one? All right. So basically, the GT86 Wisefab kit is very unique, the version 2, because you can use both front or the rear rack, because the Knuckle has two pickup points, one in the front of the Knuckle and another behind the Knuckle. So basically, it's up to you what kind of engine package you have. If you feel that you want to use the front rack, go for it. If you want to use the rear one, you can use this one as well. So this is something very unique. I don't know any other kit around that works like this. But yeah, it's JZ powered car.
Yeah, it's basically your average Driftmaster Pro spec car where it has 2 JZ, sequential, winters, Wisefab, and that's kind of the pro package these days.
Yeah, yeah, that's how it is. And you're driving on extreme tires, if I believe.
Using, extreme
Yeah, if
tires
you remember,
all
yeah.
around,
So in Europe we have two main brands which pro drifters are using. One is Valino, obviously, and another one is Extreme.
Yeah.
Those are two of the best, I would say.
yeah, it's definitely like that's the major rivalry now, I think, in Driftmaster. So last year we proved they were good enough by winning the championship also with Connor. So we're quite happy with them, and also Extreme never stopped
developing also. We're trying to develop a new tire for next year as well. So.
They are a European brand, so they're putting a lot of effort and they're talking with drivers all the time. So they're trying to get better and better.
Yeah. But other than that, pretty basic pro car. So.
And Connor car is more or less the same. I mean, kind of copy-paste thing.
Yeah, right now, last year we had the difference of the steering rack because I had the rear steering rack last year, and this year I kind of only switched just to make the spares easier. So we have, you know, the same spare steering racks, same track rods and everything like that. So it's, that was the only reason for the change. But other than that, it's identical.
Yeah, that's really cool. And good luck in competition.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
You have to do well. I'm crossing my fingers. You have, you know, in the past you have done really well here in Riga. So you know all the tricks and everything that is necessary to win the competition here.
Just, after the first couple of laps, we're now just trying to. I was going too much full throttle, so now I need to try wind it back a little bit, figure out the line again, and then I can start going to make it fast again.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for your time and good luck once again.
Cheers, man.
All right, take care, man.
Thank you.
Take care. So yeah, that's basically it. Thank you very much for walking around with me. We saw quite a few cars. There are plenty more around. Maybe we'll check out those later, maybe not. But this is how the paddock looks at Drift Masters here in Riga. It's a pretty tiny, compact area, but it's really nice. We are basically next to the forest, so and at the same time almost in the city center. So it's a really nice paddock, really nice track, and I'm happy that you're here with us. Take care.